Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast. I'm joined by Matt Murphy and our special guest, Dean O'Leary, is a hardcore Phoenix wrestling fan, hardcore WrestleSlam podcast fan as well. And of course, Dean was at the Phoenix Wrestling Show, sold out at the Kino where they made their epic return. First of all, lads, welcome to the show. We have Jordan and Elizabeth. They're actually in Italy at the moment, I believe, or I think they're in London right now. So unfortunately, they will miss the show, and beloved and our legendary Philip Connolly is he's somewhere in the woods. I just seen it on Facebook. He's making a film, but like Phil is one of the best cameramen in Ireland. He's currently in production for a film. So
filmmakers, they're just like, they want to go anywhere just for the piece of art. I would do the same, but anyway.
Definitely. Now, first of all, Dean, you were at Phoenix Wrestling's return to the Kino. What stood out for you, my man? There were some great matches, but what moments stood out for you the most?
Definitely the Multiverse of Madness match. Just straight up the funniest match of the night, best vibe of the match. Like, Mr. Charlie has proved himself to be one of the funniest guys in the company.
In the business, definitely. And the selection of matches, like, as you say, look, there was many surprises in the multiverse match, but like I think Charlie himself, like, he
made it.
He's iconic, isn't he? He's well loved. He's probably one of the most famous faces on the streets of Cork at the moment.
Yeah, especially like now we learned he can do magic for some reason.
Yeah, he can. He's a unique character. I've always known of him. You know, I've seen him at shows for years. He's been there a long time. You know what I mean? He's definitely one of the many heartbeats within Phoenix Wrestling. What was your thoughts on Steve Savage?
The most deserved championship win I've seen in a long while. Like, first I thought it was going to Cara as soon as he locked in the black hole sleeper. I was like, it's Cara. It's going to be interim champ. But then Savage found a way of breaking out and getting that powerbomb, and that was it.
And that's a Savage victory, isn't it? Like, we know, obviously, Matt, we know Cara Nora. He's iconic. He's one of the biggest stars on the indie scene all around the world. But massive, probably the biggest victory of Steve Savage's career today, Matt.
Yeah, Cara Nora, look, he's a friend of the wrestling podcast, so he actually did an amazing match with Steve Savage. But I can't think of anyone else on the Phoenix card that deserves the title more than Steve Savage. I feel like that he's been in Phoenix for as long as we can remember. He really showed, and he's got over with the fans. He got over with us, and I'm actually delighted for him to win this. So the feel-good match, feel-good celebration for him. So, and yeah, I don't think that's just a name, Steve Savage. He is Savage, lads.
Yeah,
so let's not forget that.
He's had a great year as well. Like, obviously, look, he was out in America. He's obviously, you know, I think he's done an OTT show. I think there's going to be many more OTT shows for Steve Savage. But you know what I mean? He's destined for greatness. We know he's an absolute workhorse. He obviously keeps himself in great shape. You know what I mean? He's dedicated to the craft, isn't he, Dean?
Yeah, he's dedicated. Like you said it yourself, going to OTT, being around the place. Like, he was meant to be on the card at a show in Belfast called Stipulation Saturday, but that got called off. And like, truly a good rival for Justy in the near future. Like, next month, it's definitely going to be Thatcher versus Savage, but you know, I wish it was going to be Justy versus Savage again.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay. And like, obviously, guys, we miss Justy. Obviously, Justy's a legendary figure in all of Irish wrestling. He's one of the greats. It was obviously not nice that he had to miss the show, but he's going to be back. Obviously, I think obviously July 23rd is the next big one at the Kino. Scotty Too Hotty, WWE legend, Too Cool. He will be in attendance. From what I can gather, I think the tickets are sold out, or they're almost sold out. They're very close.
I think standing was only left when I checked, and there was like 6 left. So yeah, I think they're gone.
It's going to be a sellout. It's going to be a sellout. No doubt about it.
Like, it was the same for like Saturday as well. It was sold out. So like, we've seen now what the Kino can bring. Like, let's see what it can bring next month with Scotty Too Hotty.
Definitely, and obviously we've seen man like the Reese. He's a guy that I actually had on with me about a week or two prior to him being at Kino. Did you actually see the video he put up on Twitter of Lewis Capaldi, guys?
Oh, Lewis Capaldi just bigging up
Mark
him like
Haskins. Yeah. So they must have
unreal,
they must have bumped into each other at a hotel or something. And he's saying, Mark Haskins, I'm coming for you. Pretty epic.
Well, like known like going from, I think, was he in OTT? Was OTT yesterday?
Yeah.
So he was up against Mark yesterday. So
Yeah.
If I'm right, yeah. Like going from that, I say he's definitely going to be a future contender for OTT 0121, definitely for the tag titles. Like like that match between Saviors and 0121, that could have went either way from the start to the end. Like it could have been one. It was like the best match for tag team wrestling, I say, in the whole of Ireland, or like in the history of Phoenix. I say that's one of the best tag team matches we've had.
Yeah, and I approve because I somehow feel like I'm a member of the Saviors that one time. It was a weird time.
Yes, they're so good. But no, I think, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that.
No.
They're a great heel. They're a great heel duo, but when it comes down to it, they're very ring aware. They know where to get to the ropes. They know how to mess with Foxy to get him distracted for another like cheap move.
Yeah, and like we obviously spoke about More Than Hype. Like, to me, one of the greatest trios of all time. And I hope there's a day where we do see, More Than Hype return to the ring. But obviously the Saviors, guys, obviously that's a subject we need to touch on. Obviously Anita Vaughn is with them as well. They are a breath of fresh air, aren't they, Matt? They're really, really good. Yeah. They have to pop with the crowd. They're great wrestlers. I heard a guy, he was saying, there's one of the guys, as you know, looks like Jeff Hardy. There's no doubt about it. He's the head of Jeff Hardy, but like they're incredible. They really are destined for stardom, and I think they could definitely break into NXT. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, that definitely. I mean, like, they can lead the crowd. We all like saw that. Like, they can actually have the crowd in the palm of their hands. Like, they know how to make us boo them, and they also know how to make us like focus on them in the match. And like you said, they're very wing aware. They're very like know what they do with their craft. Like, so when you mentioned NXT, I could see them definitely going far, at least more than outside of Irish wrestling. But they'll always have a place for Phoenix. They'll even have a place in OTT, but they will get far. I can definitely see that.
Definitely. And guys, obviously we've seen Debbie. She had a great match with Anita. There was a stage we actually thought Debbie was injured. It was legit. Like, the whole place stopped.
Like I think we saw her pull down the knee pad, and I was like, it's dislocated now. She's out. Like you could just feel the silence that fell on us all. We're like, this is not happening. It can't be going down like that at all.
Yeah, it's tough, it's tough. I'm looking at promos as we speak. There's a lot of stuff popping up there, which is incredible. But like, guys, it was just a spectacle and a half. Like, I mean, even J Money box office. Do you know what I mean? They announced obviously at the end of the show, LJ Clary's going to take on Scotty Too Hottie in it's obviously an anniversary show, as we know. So it was the title of the next show, obviously, fuck's sake, not another anniversary show. It's superior, guys. I'm really impressed. I think Phoenix Wrestling, OTT, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan in Ireland. Obviously, the School of Irish Wrestling is doing incredible. Obviously, there's some great things going up there. NW, there's so much. I could keep talking. But what was your star moment, Dean? What was the thing that stood out most to you that night?
I'm saying J Money just being J Money. Like, he's going places. His Avengers reference was amazing. Like, his finisher is I've named you know yourselves. I named his Death Valley driver the Moneymaker because he's always been using that. He used it to win the match for the title back last month, and now he's done it again, and he's going places. I don't see him losing that title anytime soon.
He's box office. Matt, what's your take on J Money?
I would say I would agree with J Money's Avengers reference, especially with Charlie's Doctor Strange reference as well. Because I think I said to you, it was like, this is the one Phoenix show Jerry Rush had to miss out on, unfortunately. But I think for me, it has to be Steve Savage winning the Phoenix World Championship. It was just, I don't know, that title just looked so good on him. It was just so feel good victory, end of the moment, Phoenix show. And this would make you want to go to the next Phoenix show in the Kino. Definitely. I could see Steve holding on to the title for a good next few couple of shows. Like, I could see it being an unstoppable champion, and he deserves it. Like, so that's my highlight: Steve Savage winning the Phoenix Championship. Love Kurt Noir. He put on a great show, but Steve Savage all the way there.
And we have to mention, obviously, Billy Bellham's entrance, guys. It is just iconic. It's the greatest entrance, probably in all professional wrestling, in my opinion. Imagine Billy Bellham doing that in the Tree Arena. Imagine Billy Bellham doing that in Neptune Stadium. Imagine him doing it in All Elite Wrestling. Imagine.
You're right there, but like, speaking of All Elite Wrestling, like, would Tony Khan pay for the rights? Like,
Tony would, of course.
Like, the rights to that song are expensive.
Imagine All Elite Wrestling coming to Dublin, and they have like a Forbidden Door style format where you have OTT versus All Elite Wrestling versus Phoenix, and you see the likes of Billy Bellham come out to that tune. That would be fucking iconic. Imagine Sesh Martina coming out to Mark McCabe Maniac in the Tree Arena. Imagine, you know what I mean, Joe of OTT, the main man himself, coming out to his entrance in a pop. Imagine him fighting Moxley or someone, because a lot of chemistry there. That's something that I'd love to see. I really would love to see All Elite Wrestling versus OTT versus, slash Irish Stars, Phoenix Wrestling.
If Tony sees this, if Tony Khan sees this, then he will sign up everyone of Phoenix and OTT. It was like, these guys have money, especially if they get an American crowd watching, just like have the eyes on them, like, definitely. So that would be the dream, lads. That would be the dream. Tony, make it happen. If you're watching this, boy.
I love it. Now, guys, we have to switch quickly to All Elite Wrestling versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was under the hashtag line Forbidden Door. People say it's probably one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time. It was 5 hours long. It was on, obviously, yesterday, and it was really hard to stay up. Obviously, in Ireland, guys, as you know, the time difference is an absolute killer for us here, because, like, teams don't really kick off till 1 a.m., 12 p.m. sometimes. 12 a.m., 1 p.m. But yeah, it's one of them things. I think we're all kind of feeling the effects. I stayed up for a bit last night, hence why I look a bit tired. So, like, first of all, guys, what a pay-per-view. And obviously, the thing I want to talk about most is Claudio, Mr. Cesaro, making his All Elite Wrestling debut. What amazed me most, guys, is Becky Lynch, WWE Superstars current, retweeting the videos. Look, I've been lucky enough to meet Cesaro numerous times. I've been lucky enough to interview the man. He is an absolute gem, one of the greatest guys you could ever meet, so humble. So you could see all the love from all his ex-WWE family. Dean, what was your thoughts on Cesaro, aka Claudio, making his debut at All Elite Wrestling?
I feel like at first when we heard Bryan Danielson was injured, I was like to myself, technical master, Claudio, definitely, straight away. Yeah. Then they done something a bit sneaky on when I was watching it back. They didn't show the entrance ramp straight away. They kind of cut to the fans, and there was a red light and all that kind of bits. And then I was like, don't say with red light it's Bray Wyatt. It can't be.
Yeah.
Like when I think technical, I don't think Bray Wyatt. Then when I heard that one chord, I said it before we started, that one chord, I was like, it's him. It has to be him. Like, and then him just running out, sliding in with that Blackpool Combat Club jacket, that if someone can find someone that can get that jacket sent to me, I will be delighted to have that. It's a beautiful jacket. Like, it's an amazing jacket. Especially like having Claudio 22 on the back, and like having the reference to the Konami code on there. like as a gamer myself, I loved that, like the small detail of that in there. And then him just putting on a masterpiece of a match with Zack Sabre, just perfect.
It was indeed. Matt, what was it like to see our twin brother? D, by the way, that was a beautiful take. So Matt Murphy, twin brother of Cesaro, aka Claudio. What was your thoughts on the legend making that return? I want to ask you a question, Matt, for all the fans. Do you think if Bryan Danielson did not get injured, he was still going to turn up? Or do you think it was just a case of, look, Bryan Danielson got injured and look, they had to get a fast deal over the line? So what do you reckon? Do you reckon he was going to join still? Or do you reckon it was just a case of Tony Khan was put under more pressure and he had to make the move and offer him more money maybe?
I still see Claudio just showing up even with Bryan Danielson in the match with Zack Sabre Jr. Like I feel like if Bryan Danielson wins, Zack Sabre Jr. will get frustrated, take down Bryan Danielson, and then Claudio will show up and that'll be a big pop. Of course, it won't be a big pop as we have now since we won't have a great match with the two of them. But like I feel like Tony needs to know better. He has a hot product on his hands of Claudio. Like, don't put that to waste. As in, like, just call him up at the last minute. Like, yeah, I'm gonna offer you a contract. You replace Bryan Danielson. No, like, he's gonna show up either way. But it was just a thing of beauty seeing my lad Claudio just in the match. He won it. I feel like that was like probably the best win he ever gotten since the last 2 years he was with WWE. Yeah. This is just to remind everyone who he is like. And even with AEW's no boundaries for some with wrestlers, like again, I'm just imagining the matches that's going through my head at the moment with Claudio, especially with the Blackpool club. Like, and when you said about like you want to get the jacket, I want to get the jacket as well. I can't wear it because I have to owe Cesaro probably about like £1,000 over people confusing me with him. So gonna have to give you that jacket, lad. But that's where I stand. I feel like AEW is still gonna bring out Claudio, even if they can't just have him backstage. So delighted to see him. It's just such a feel good moment, lad. Claudio, my man crush. You have my heart, and you always have my respect, lad. If you're watching this, how bad?
Did you ever see I put it up a while back, but there's a shop in the Cork City Centre on Patrick Street, right? It's a suit shop, and there's actually a picture of Cesaro on the shop window. And I took a selfie with it one day. I just happened to be walking through town with Phil Connolly, but I put it up on Twitter and he liked it straight away. Like, you know what I mean? He's such a good guy. But it'd be interesting to see where he goes from here, guys. I think he's got all the attributes to be All Elite champion. There's no doubt, world champion. I mean, he is phenomenal. Like, he's probably that one WWE superstar where he deserved to be the world champion as well. And I felt many former superstars that worked with him probably thought the same, but it was great to see him back. It's great to see him back. He looks amazing. He looks $1 million, and we're looking forward to seeing what the future holds for Claudio on All Elite Wrestling. I want to mention, guys, Pac.
I was just gonna say real quick, but like it's just I just keep thinking of the amount of times WWE fecked up Cesaro. I remember I went on a rant and been like, lad, you fecked up. You had such an amazing talent. And this is one of those moments where AEW is going to do something with him.
Like,
and AEW is going to
you're saying title. Sorry, Matt. You're saying titles for Claudio. I feel like you could do a thing where the Blackpool Combat Club will run riot, where we get Moxley is now interim champ, so probably beat CM Punk. He'll have the title for a while. Then Danielson probably go for the TNT title, and then have Claudio go after the All Atlantic. And then if we do get a fifth, like they'll find someone for the Blackpool Combat Club to make a tag team for Utah, and then get them as tag champs for a while.
Yeah, I think Regal's onto something big. And like you mentioned, obviously the All Atlantic Championship, right? Pac defeated Claire Connors, Miro, Malachi Black by submission. Now, Miro was a massive favorite on our last episode, guys. Miro was the massive favorite to win that. I think Pac was actually the third or fourth favorite in that match. So obviously, guys, it was well overdue. The match itself was about 15 minutes long, but Pac defeated Claire Connors, Mero, Malachi Black via submission, and he won the All Atlantic Championship. Guys, I think it was a great call. I think Pac deserves it, Matt. Do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that Pac didn't really been used as much in AEW. As in he's just been using it like random like tag teams. So seeing him actually winning the title and seeing that he's actually going to be used in his singles competitors on AEW is going to be wonders for him at the moment. I know there's a lot of complaints saying that we don't need another title, but this is kind of like make up with so much talent on AEW at the moment. At least they're giving them something like. So I feel like Pac will actually go far with the All Atlantic Championship. So can't see it. I could see him having a rivalry with Nero. Have Nero like back on the title picture somehow. Yeah. But yeah, delighted to see Pac winning this.
Definitely. A match that took a lot of people by surprise. Will Ospreay defeating Orange Cassidy, but people are on about the match. They're saying it's a 5-star match. It was good all around. What you reckon?
5 stars? Nah. I think like being honest, the chemistry between two was great, but I feel like Cassidy deserved the win there. Like the amount of leverage he had throughout that match, it felt that it was Cassidy's time to basically win that title and prove himself as a wrestler.
Yeah, no, I agree. Good thoughts on that. And I think, look, Ospreay is a talent and a half. You know, I've seen him numerous times. I remember meeting him at OTT about 4 or 5 years ago. The guy is just buckets and buckets of talent. But Orange Cassidy doing himself justice, which is great. Now, I want to talk, obviously, about another match. Jay White. So, Jay White, obviously, defeating Hangman Page, Okada, Adam Cole by pinfall. That was obviously for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Guys, in my opinion, they could have stole the show.
I have something to weigh in on that.
I love it. Give it to me.
I heard that the whole call might have been changed, like during the match, because I said before that Adam Cole may have a concussion. We don't know yet. So I think it could, like, Adam Cole could have been the winner, but when they saw, he's injured, they made sure to have Jay White retain. Like, it is the Switchblade era, but it was Adam Cole's night for some reason.
Yeah. So, yeah, there is talks. Look, I'm on Twitter as we speak, and I looked at it this morning, and there was talks that he got a concussion. I know, Matt, would you be in agreement that maybe Adam Cole was booked to win that match and become the champ?
I would. I'm just gonna say this now, but I couldn't see Adam Hangman Page or Adam Cole winning this. I was actually pulling for Okada or Jay White to win the IGP World Title. I couldn't see an AEW fella winning the actual title, but I did see at least Adam Cole getting good licks with Jay White to build a really good, solid face turn. Because, like, we all saw that he won the Owen Hart Championship. I feel like he still needs to have that big moment in AEW. Like, I personally prefer his career on NXT than AEW. He's doing well at the moment, but like, I couldn't see him winning the title, Matt. I could see him actually getting good, making the match look good in himself, and then Jay White picking up a sneaky victory. But if he would have won, that would be an unreal. Don't get me wrong, but it would have been a good match for himself. I was hopefully going for Okada at my stage, just to see at least a new world champion, and that'll get people actually tuning into New Japan, even for the casual wrestling viewers, to say, yeah, you know what, I might watch this because this wrestler won this title. So I was putting for Okada, but Jay White winning this, he'll do good with the title.
No, I love it. Now, obviously, guys, Moxley defeated Tanahashi via pinfall. He became the interim All Elite Wrestling World Champion. Yet again, great duration of the match. Obviously, he was bloodied at the end. That's the way Moxley likes it. But Dean, what was your thoughts of this match, my man?
I'll be honest, I really thought it was going to be Tanahashi. like straight away, like before the whole, I said at Phoenix that we might see a title go over to Japan and see a title stay with AEW, like have IWGP World Champion show up in AEW, and then have the ace of New Japan be the AEW champion. Because like I would have, like I was kind when I saw the first announcement being Punk versus Tanahashi, I was like, this is a match that I would love to see. Like straight away, I was like, if this was live and it was in Ireland, I was straight away finding someone to come with me and go and seeing that. Because like Punk has said he wants to wrestle Okada, he wants to wrestle anyone, like a lot of people, and I could see him wrestle Tanahashi. Like Punk came back and he's like Punk of Ring of Honor days, like someone who's like just straight up fresh off the scene.
No, I love that take. Beautiful take on that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Moxley moving forward. Look, many predicting that he's going to go on and be dominant yet again. But obviously, look, people don't know when Punk is going to be back. Punk could be back next week. He could be back in 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. Who knows? Right, I want to get through some matches. Obviously, dudes with attitudes. That was Darby Allin, Sting, Shingo Takagi defeated the Bullet Club, which was an interesting match. I enjoyed that one. Obviously, we mentioned Pac becoming the All-Atlantic champion. Guys, a tag team that I absolutely adore. And I've said it to their faces. I think they're easily one of the greatest, if not the greatest tag teams of all time. FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, obviously defeating United Empire, and obviously Rocky Romero, Trent via pinfall. Now, guys, what's your thoughts on FTR?
You want to go, Dean?
I'll take this one. So, FTR, they say they're 7-star FTR. I would say if Dave Meltzer rated this, it's 20 stars. Like they're now champions in Japan, America, and Mexico. I could see next month when Ring of Honor comes back that Bucks versus Ring of like winner takes all, Bucks versus FTR part 3, and FTR basically destroying them and proving that their short time from their debut back at All Out to Full Gear was worth the hype. That even though it was a short title reign, that they didn't need the titles at the time, but now they're ready.
And like as you know, Dean, they turned up a lot of money, so they've had there was more lucrative offers there with WWE. We know that they obviously wanted to keep them. FTR wanted to leave. They wanted to win more belts. Would you put these guys in top 5 of all time the way they're going?
I'd say they're on the list of like number 1. Like you have FTR, Young Bucks, then United Empire, then Roppongi Vice, then like you can fill them in whatever way, but I feel like FTR and the Bucks are going to be in the Hall of Fame at some point.
Oh, easily. Good take. I love it. And guys, we have to quickly mention before we run out of time. Obviously, look, there's a few more things to get through as well, but there was other matches I want to quickly get through. Obviously, so where are we? There was an 8-man tag match. Obviously, Max Caster, the Gun Club, and Colton Gunn. Obviously, they were victorious. That's a quick mention. Lance Archer defeated Nick Comorto. Where are we? Suzuki, obviously, and the Jericho Appreciation Society. They defeated Eddie Kingston, Humana, and Wheeler. So that was an interesting one. Thunder Rosa defeated Tony Storm via pinfall. A lot of us were backing Tony Storm to win that match, but it was a great match, and I think Tony Storm will bounce back from that.
I feel like that match was just thrown in and as a way of being like, oh, the women are here. Like, I think it was more like they didn't have someone like New Japan needs a women's division, even though like they have there's a small women's division in Japan. Yeah. But like they needed someone like even if they teamed up with Stardom for that one show for last night to have a match, like even if like a 3-man match where Tony Storm, someone from Stardom, and Thunder Rosa, like that should have been the way it was. But it's the way it is. Like
no, completely spot on. Now I'm going to mention quickly that. Go on, sure way. Sorry.
I enjoyed the match. I was pulling for Tony Storm, but I can definitely see her at least winning the AEW Women's Championship down the line. Like, so happy over Thunder Rosa, but we're all pulling for Tony Storm. She's a mate of the wrestling podcast, so go on to Storm.
Definitely. Now, guys, I have to mention quickly before we go, John Cena returns
tonight. I know.
Dean, what's your thoughts? Is he back for the long haul? Is he back for a couple of matches, or is he just back to say hello?
I'm hoping it's just hello. I'm getting tired of him just turning up, being like, it's kind of becoming a meme at this point where it's John Cena wins, and it's like I just don't like it.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Matt, what's your thoughts?
I could see John Cena actually stick around for at least till SummerSlam just to have the match with Austin Theory. I think they're just like doing its moment as in like John Cena is still donated with WWE. Like, we don't forget that whenever he gets credit in a movie role, he still gives money to WWE because WWE owns his name, so he has to give back to WWE in some way. So if he finds out that he has to stick around for even a few months till SummerSlam, I could see him doing that. Even for Money in the Bank, SummerSlam Money in the Bank, he'll take on Austin Theory because I feel like Money in the Bank is a big pay-per-view at the moment.
Yeah.
So
well, I could see this. I could see Clash of the Castle. Like, I hear tickets aren't selling well, so John Cena versus Theory at Clash of the Castle, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good call. Guys, don't forget this show is brought to you by manscaped.com. Don't forget you can get the 4.0 package and many more products using our promo code WrestleSlam. So do check out manscaped.com. And also we are on Spotify. Type in the WrestleSlam podcast for more info. Don't forget the team will be back next week. And of course, it's great to have our guest Dean on with us as well today. He'll be back in the near future, guys. So do keep an eye for Dean. We'll have all the updates as always. And do check us out on Twitter, WrestleSlam, aka Slam Wrestle on Twitter. From myself, Matt, from Dean, have a great week, guys. Thank you for tuning in to our first show of the weeks.
Dean, we're putting you on the spot. Final message. Go. Come on.
Subscribe to the WrestleSlam YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure to enjoy our show. Support local wrestling. Support any of your wrestling shows where they can be watched.
I love it. What a natural. Guys, thank you for tuning in. God bless. Be safe. And we'll catch you soon. Thank you for tuning in to WrestleSlam podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify. Send the love as always, guys. Respect. Arriba la Lazza. Thanks, guys.